This is so funny. So this is yesterday's makeup. I don't even think I brushed my teeth yet. Hi everyone and welcome back. If you saw last week's video, you will know what's going on. But just in case you're new to the program, I am a somewhat crazy person building a tiny cabin on a cliff, and I'm in the middle of installing the roof. In this video, we are jumping into the camping phase of things where I'm about to spend a night in my very, very tiny shed so I can finish the other side of the roof. It's 4:23, so I'm just making some tea and something to eat. And I did bring like craft dinner, but these like instant noodles are easier than the craft dinner, so noodles it is. What's the temperature? It's 0 degrees. It's actually slightly warmer than it was earlier by like half a degree or 1 degree. But I'm just gonna, like, I have a headlight. I'm just gonna putter around like 4:30, 5:30. Like, I don't want to like be crawling into the shed too early. I suppose I should try and get the generator going and make sure that the generator runs for my heater. And then keep the fire going. And yeah, I did bring water a little bit in this green container, just like only maybe like, I don't know, a couple gallons or something. Yeah, I should have enough for tomorrow for like drinking. Just, I need to stay hydrated, that's all. I'm not gonna worry about washing, I guess. No big deal. Long night ahead of me. But that's okay. Life should be challenging. You know, I don't know. I have a comfortable, I feel like, you know, I have a comfortable life. I have a comfortable home. You know, we're not poor. I just think it's important to step outside of my comfort zone and do this kind of stuff. Look at all of the homeless people sleeping in cardboard boxes or sleeping in nothing in sleeping bags on the streets, and all of the dogs that are chained to the outside and are outside in like horrible freezing frigid temperatures, and they don't have anything to keep them warm. So there's a lot of suffering in the world, and a little bit of suffering for me, if I suffer tonight, is okay. I think it's good to experience it all. So thank you for joining me tonight. Well, here's to another night on the cliff, another overnight on the cliff. My first winter camp. Watch my hair catch on fire. Better stay away. So nice though. You know, it's too bad I couldn't like harness the heat from this burning barrel. I've seen Advoco Makes on YouTube do it. He has a little heater thing, like basically takes a stump, like a log, builds a fire or makes a fire inside the log, and then runs a pipe, a steel pipe through the log, and it draws air in from the bottom, like the ground. It heats the air up through the fire, and then he puts the pipe into his tent or his hut or whatever, and so it's like warm air will blow inside his camp-out structure. So I'd thought of doing that, but I just don't have the time to put it together. But it might be kind of something I want to try one day in my life. But for now, I'll just have to stand by the fire for the heat, and then when I'm done and ready to go in, I'll have to go in. Beautiful night. And I'm not even sure if I have enough, really, if I want to use the water that I've got to like wash my face. Now I wash my face every night, but tonight I don't know that I'm going to. And if I don't, then I will be waking up with today's makeup on. And I will be like the girl from the night before, I guess. And that totally made me think of one Halloween when I first moved to go to nursing school, moved away to go to nursing school. I didn't know a lot of people, but it was a lot of us, a few people from the class going out to the bar for Halloween. And I didn't have a costume picked, and I decided last minute I was gonna go, and it came to me. So I went to the thrift store and I bought a men's small dress shirt, and that was my costume. And I wore that, high heels, and I carried around a coffee mug, and I had a newspaper under my arm, and my hair was disheveled and my makeup was rough looking, and I was the girl from the night before. And it was so funny because I had so many people come up to me in the bar trying to figure out what I was, and as soon as I told them, everyone just died. They just thought it was the best costume ever. And I've come up with some good costumes for Halloween. I've also done, a few years, I've done a pregnant one where I've been pregnant. I did this in nursing school too. Same thing, couldn't decide. I didn't know what I was gonna be, and literally an hour before, I put on this tight jean dress, shoved a few sweaters up into the jean dress, and lo and behold, I made it look like I was pregnant. And that was my costume, was that I was gonna be going out to this party. And I went around drinking, and I don't smoke, but I carried around a cigarette in my hand. And that was my costume, was that I was a pregnant person who was like drinking and smoking. And I got so many dirty looks at this event. I had so many people come up to me in the bathroom. It was the funniest thing. Anyway, yeah, that was a great one too. And then I did that for Steve and I one year, which I can actually show pictures of that because I have pictures from that time. And I had done this costume before, but I redid it, and I was pregnant and I had a baby, and Steve was like beer gut, rolled up shirt, cigarettes in his sleeve, heart Michelle on there, and like a missing tooth, and ketchup and mustard stains all over his shirt. And I had a black eye, and I had the baby in a stroller, and I had a 6-pack on the stroller, and like what we were was like us in 5 years. So Steve and I predicted what we would be like as a couple in 5 years. And that was so funny too. We ended up winning first prize at a Halloween thing that we went to. We got first prize. So yeah, it was pretty fun. And that's my fireside chat for you. One thing I might do, is get some rocks really hot. And then I have like a bucket I can put them in and put them underneath where I'm sleeping. Should give off a bit of radiant heat for an hour or two, I would think. So, and it's 6:15. I think I'm going to start the generator. I just had a funny thought. I thought, why don't I just stick all that insulation? I just kind of like have all this rigid foam insulation for the cabin. So I was like, why don't I just pile it all around the shed? So I piled some at the back and I put a couple clamps at the back there and then just threw them on top. Oh, I have this light too. Oh yeah. And I took all that white foam and just stuffed it underneath. So I'm just like unpacking a little bit of food. Trying to, this is such a small space that trying to like organize myself in here is hard. Want a cookie? Chocolate? But it's 13 degrees. It's 13 degrees Celsius. It's like not bad. It's just because it's not insulated, the heat doesn't stay in here. The floor is cold, but did I mention I don't have any clothes? I don't have any clothes to change it into. I have my snowsuit I can change into. I want to put the rocks underneath in this compartment. And I've got boots, snowsuit. I'm gonna have to prioritize. Anyway, that's what I'm up to. I'm gonna organize myself, and then I'm going to probably sit and edit a little bit of the next video that's gonna come out, which isn't gonna be this one, but I did bring my laptop to do that because to kill some time. So I'll just putter around in here. Well, the generator just died, and I don't have any more fuel, so that's it for my heat. Hot water bottle, hot rocks it is. I thought it would last a lot longer than that, but I guess not. And I took the jerry can home to fill it. I never did fill it. It's now 12 degrees. It's like 5 minutes later. It's a good thing I have I have the sleeping bag. I have 2 Mexican blankets to put on top of me. My snowsuit. Plus all of the insulation work I did. The renovations. Here is my bucket of rocks. And you know, there's, you know, warmth coming off them, so, and I have a hot water bottle filled up with hot water, so I'll put that at my feet. I changed into my snowsuit because I wanted out of my pants, and I don't know that I'm going to be warm enough with no pants on, so snowsuit it is. It's 9 o'clock. And I'm going to turn the lights out now. It is 8 degrees. 0 degrees outside. That's it. Good night. Good morning. It's about almost 7. I actually slept okay. No, it wasn't bad at all. It's like 1 degree in here, Celsius. It's just above freezing, and outside it's -1, so it didn't get to -5. Anyway, I am going to just lay here for a little while and wait and then get up. I was definitely warm enough. It was okay. I survived. One of the first things I'm doing is I put the water in the pot. So I'm going to heat that up, put it back in the bottle to put in my sleeping bag for the batteries, for the tools, and for the camera. And then I'll make some coffee, which I had this ready to go from the last time I was here, and I ran out of fuel for the camp stove, so that's all ready to go. I just threw this little tarp around last night. This is like just a lumber thing. Just in the event it got really windy, and yeah, just to kind of keep a bit of the wind out. So I'm going to change out of my snowsuit. I have my clothes, my socks, my gloves inside my sleeping bag. I was laying on top of them for about half an hour and trying to warm them up. And then I'm going to put the hot water bottle in with everything, and the batteries for the tools and the batteries for the cameras, because everything doesn't last long in the cold. For breakfast. Okay, this is funny because these potatoes are so old. These potatoes came with the Slumber Queen camper that we bought, our first camper in 2019. I think the old guy just left them in there. So we had used some of them, and then this is one that's left, and neither of Steve or I really cared for them. I actually didn't mind them. You just really need to put like ketchup on them, which I don't have ketchup, but I don't have anything else. I actually have some beans, some chickpeas. It's like a Punjab chole thing. Because I don't have ketchup, there's nothing. I don't even have salt and pepper. I have nothing to flavor them. I'm gonna put some of these in. Okay. Cheers. This was the best decision to put those beans in there, or those chickpeas with the sauce. It's really good. See that? Definitely worth it. Who am I? The girl from the night before at the snowsuit party. Woo! I'm going to eat and drink my coffee, get changed, and then get to finishing that roof. So. When Steve was here, he moved the rope up the tree for me because it was rubbing on the ridge, rubbing on the foam. I didn't want it to like wreck the foam, so he moved it up there for me. But then I'm like, I gotta go up and move it again. I gotta move it to a tree on that side. So I'm gonna do that now off camera. And I did move this other plank over on this side, so I have two now to stand on, because to be honest, this side is a little bit more scary, and I think it's because I don't have a deck to, like, if I fall, I don't know, it's like right on the cliff, and it feels a little bit more scary to me, so I moved that plank just for extra security. Let's just get this done, you guys, so we can move on to bigger and better things, or smaller and less scary things. So it's like 11:23, and like about an hour ago I was like, okay, I've got all the foam up, going along pretty good. I want to make a cup of coffee, and of course, like, just everything is so hard. I had to fill like the camp stove up with fuel, and the fuel's spilling everywhere, and just to grind the coffee beans, and my water's frozen. So just takes a really long time just to make one little cup of coffee, and I need to do the dishes, but So then I go up to do the strapping and I'm like, no, I need to do that barge rafter. I forgot about that. Well, I felt like I was more fluid and fumbling less on this side for the installation of the foam and strapping. I kind of expected that to be the case for the tin. I just had it in my mind that the larger panels would be much easier or quicker to install than the standing seam, but I was kind of wrong. My initial plan was to pre-drill and do as much down below as I could, but I quickly realized that there were more than a few possibilities I could mess things up, so I just changed my plans and decided to do the pre-drilling of the holes up there. I was breaking drill bits, dropping tools, felt like I was inventing yet another form of roof yoga. I installed the one flawed panel I had upside down. I saw the hours of my day turning into minutes and the light of the day fading before my eyes. Ugh, if this cabin doesn't have as many patches on it as my jacket does, then I'll be pretty surprised. But this is how it goes for me. I always feel like I'm struggling and sounding like a broken record on here. And as much as I wish some of these things could go easier for me, I also realize that it is in these really hard times of struggle that I can stand there and know that the end result will be more worth it than if it were to have come easy to me. So as I sit and edit this footage, I'm going to set aside my criticisms and instead offer myself a high five and a solid pat on the tush. You did okay, Michelle. You did okay. Okay, you guys, it is 3:40 p.m. This side has been really hard. My ridge cap, I need longer screws apparently for the standing seam stuff. They're not going through, so I only can secure the ridge cap really on the one side. At least it's on. I don't imagine it's going to go anywhere. I'm just ready to go put up this last panel, which is going to be the standing seam panel for the end. Put up the last little bit of ridge cap, and then I gotta bail. I gotta go. So yeah, the ribs or ridges on the standing seam material are much higher or taller than the other side, and the fasteners weren't biting into anything. At least that's what I think the problem was. I'll have to purchase longer fasteners and go back out there another time and properly finish things off. Another bit of a bummer is that there's quite a noticeable difference in the colors of the different materials when side by side, but nothing a coat of paint can't fix next year. And that was all I could get done. By the time I cleaned up, packed up, closed things up for a little while, I was hiking out with all of my gear in a headlight in the pitch dark and on my 2-hour drive to get back home. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.